Okay, no bullshit. Once you know this, it's like winning the lottery, except it's actually easier than hitting the $180 million jackpot because you are no longer operating on the field of competition. And it's all because money isn't just paper. It isn't just the numbers in your bank account. Money is energy. And if you're not tuned to the right frequency, you're always gonna just chase it. And in this video, I'm gonna show you the science, the mindset, the codes behind tapping into the frequency of wealth so you stop hustling and you start bringing the money into your life. Let's just start with something that really we're never taught in school. Everything is vibration. Physics tells us that all matter, all atoms, everything that you see and touch, your body, it's made up of energy that's just vibrating at different frequencies. Your thoughts, your emotions, they are frequencies too. Now, where it gets interesting is according to David Hawkins, doctor, psychiatrist, he says that every state of consciousness emits a measurable vibrational frequency on a scale of 1 to 1,000. And he mapped this out in his famous map of consciousness, as you can see here. And this scale starts with shame at 20, guilt at 30, fear at 100, desire 125, anger 150, pride 175. But something happens at 200, the level of courage. That's the gateway to true transformation and power. That's where you move into expansive energy. And then it climbs. It goes to neutrality, 250, willingness, 310, acceptance, love, 500, joy, 540, peace, enlightenment, up to 1,000. Now, most people operate below 200 in fear. They're in doubt, they're in unworthiness, they're in victim consciousness. And money resonates between 250 and 350. So that's neutrality, that's willingness, that's acceptance. The reason this is important because if you're stuck in a frequency of desperation, of lack of unworthiness, you are repelling money. And to attract money, you have to reach a level of emotional neutrality. And that's when you feel safe receiving. That's when you trust your value. That's when you believe that you're worthy. And this is why people who often don't obsess over money, they attract more of it because they're not energetically blocking it with resistance and neediness and unworthiness. So to tune into the frequency of money, we have to elevate our dominant emotional state, which shifts our vibration. It raises our frequency. It's like dialing a phone number. Every phone number is just a frequency, right? Like if you call me and my number is 858-437, whatever, that's a frequency bandwidth. And if money's phone number is 888 more money, but you're dialing 744 no money, you're on the wrong frequency. And all day long, we are dialing the no money number. And we have to shift to a different frequency. The problem with this is the emotions set us up. That's what sets the frequency. And the emotions were programmed from childhood. So through all the experiences we had, the things we adopted from the adults around us, we might have learned loneliness. We might have learned unworthiness. We might have learned compulsive addiction to stress. We might have learned scarcity. And then those emotions now as an adult, even though you consciously want more money, are subconsciously putting you in vibrational harmony below the 250 point neutrality scale that you have to be at to be in a place of receiving. Otherwise, even if you do receive it, you blow it because you're still at the emotional state. Does that make sense? That's why people win the lottery, but then they blow it. Athletes get $250 million and they're broke in 6 years. Because even though they got lucky, the emotional state was still in a place below 250, of not being worthy and not receiving. So then unconsciously, they lose, sabotage, or blow all the money. And that's why it's really important to reprogram your subconscious. I have a free success hypnosis. It's jakeshypnosis.com. It's my free financial success hypnosis. About 1 million people from all the world have used it. When I started listening to it, I was making like $1,500 a month. Within 2 years, I was making 7 figures a year. And every day I get epic stories of people that are like, I've been looking for a job forever. I listened to this for a couple minutes a day. I got 2 job offers in the first month. I had a house on the market forever. It sold the next week. All these things. Because what you're doing is you are erasing the old emotional states that are controlling your frequency pattern around money, and you're replacing it with ones that are conducive for attracting more money into your life. So you can check that out for free. Don't get it yet, because what we're about to go over is the exact process to shift into a state of receiving and neutrality and moving up the consciousness scale to bring more money into your life. But the link you can click right here, or you can go to jakeshypnosis.com, or it's pinned to the comments and in the description right there down below. Now, all of that being so, we have to tune to a new frequency. We have to change our money frequency. And it all begins in the subconscious, because the subconscious mind is your frequency set point, right? You can say affirmations all day long. You can talk about what it is that you want all day long. But if your subconscious is in resonance with, I'm not worthy, money's hard to get, rich people are greedy, I'll always be broke, I'm just not a money person, then the signal that you are broadcasting, even subconsciously without realizing it, that's scarcity signal. It's like trying to tune into a jazz station and you're stuck listening to hard rock, or you're on static and you're like, why isn't it coming in? Right? So let's just break down how you shift. The first thing is scripting. So this is really journaling in the present tense. Like, I'm so grateful I crossed $10,000 this month. It flowed to me easily with awesome opportunities. I feel so excited. I feel so confident. You want to describe the emotions. Just about specific thing. You might be in real estate and you're writing about how good it feels that now you were getting 2 sales a year, but now you're getting 2 sales a month. It might be that you're writing about how you're in your dream house and what it sounds like and feels like, and what it feels like to see the mountains from your bedroom. You're getting into the feeling of it, and you just write for a couple minutes. What I do is I turn on my success hypnosis while I do it, because I basically get myself into a trance where I'm writing in the present tense about the future that I want while I'm letting my success hypnosis play. And I basically put myself into like a hypnotic trance so I can get into my subconscious mind easier. So if you want, you can check that out if you get my success hypnosis down below. Scripting only takes a couple minutes. And if you add this in the morning or at night, what you're going to do is you're going to start to see all of these new financial patterns in your thoughts and your emotions start to manifest in your outside world, because you are literally predicting your future by scripting it. The next step is emotional rehearsal. So your brain doesn't know the difference between real and imagination. I talked about many times, there was a neuroscience study at Stanford University where all the smart people are. And they did a study where they took a group of people and had them play the piano. And then in another group, they had them imagine playing the same piano sequence. Well, the group that imagined the piano sequence had the same brain activity as a group that actually played it. So you are tuning your frequency and your brain just through your own imagination. And because you don't get what you want, you get what you're vibrating with. Using emotional rehearsal, you can actually rehearse the future before it happens by practicing the emotions of it, or priming your brain for the emotions of it, which is going to shift you up the vibrational scale. We are mentally rehearsing all day long, because when you believe that you're unworthy, your money's hard to get, you're always going to be broke, whatever it is, it's not an absolute truth. It's a fiction. It's an illusion that we've come to believe, and we've mentally rehearsed and emotionally rehearsed so many times that it feels real. So why not replace it if Harvard already proved that your brain doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's not real? So the easiest way to do this is to quite simply not even focus on trying to visualize things, and instead get in touch with how it would feel. How would it feel to shake hands with your real estate agent and they're handing you over the keys to your dream house? How would it feel when your first video goes viral on YouTube? How would it feel to be walking on the beach with your soulmate and you haven't met them yet and they get on their knee and propose to you? How would it feel to know that at 11 o'clock a.m. tomorrow, you're going to get that new job that you really want, and it's going to be for more money than you were expecting? How would it feel? And if you just dwell in that for a couple minutes a day, what you're doing is you are detaching the neural circuits in your brain that are used to the same emotional firing and wiring. And what you're doing is you're pulling those away, like deleting old software on a computer, and you are installing new emotional patterns, which is putting you in a place of higher on the consciousness scale to get you to a place of neutrality and receiving, which is going to allow the money to start to flow. So to lock this all in, here's a little just 1, 2 minute, 3 minute ritual that you can do to move yourself up the scale. So first, you're just going to breathe, just breathing nice and deeply. Breathing in and breathing out. And just do 5 cycles of that. Breathing in and breathing out. And once you feel your nervous system relax, just think of 3 things that you're grateful for. Real things in your life. It could be your kids. It could be your electricity. It could be that you have a internet connection. It could be that you had clean water. 3 real things. And once you do those 3 real things, you start to feel emotionally different, right? Then you do 3 things that you don't have. That's the manifestation. So then you shift to 3 things about money, 3 things about abundance, 3 things about your life. So I might take those breaths, get myself relaxed, and then I think of, I'm grateful for my kids' health. I'm grateful for my wife. I'm grateful for you watching this YouTube video. I'm grateful I had clean water. And I'm just getting in touch with the feel, like how it actually feels to be grateful for that. And then I might do that. I'm grateful that I got that new job opportunity, that I'm grateful that I got a viral YouTube video. I'm grateful that I was able to help my friend or my grandmother buy a new car because they can't afford one and their car just broke. And how would that feel? And I let myself get in the emotion of it. And I play that scenario and I could see my grandmother crying while I hand her the keys to her new car. And then once you've taken the breaths, you've done 3 things that you're grateful for that are in your life and 3 things that you want to manifest that are not in your life, and you've dwelled in the emotion of that, then the important thing is just to seal that. And you just seal that by saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're not asking for it, because when you ask for something, what you're doing is you're telling your subconscious mind instructions. And the instructions you're giving your subconscious mind is, I don't have this thing. So instead, you're thanking. And that emotional energy of gratitude is telling your subconscious that you have it, which is putting you in a consciousness scale or a vibrational alignment with neutrality and receiving, which is then going to make the vibrational shift for the money to start to show up in your life. So this is Jake with JakeDucey.com, wishing you a beautiful day. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you get my free financial success hypnosis. It's jakeshypnosis.com. You can click right here to get that, or go to the link in the description and pin to the comments right there down below. It's jakeshypnosis.com. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, bell notification, and give me a comment down below that says I'm worthy of abundance. I'm worthy of abundance. Not just like typing the words though, like really feel. What does it feel like to know all of your old ideas that you weren't good enough and smart enough and it won't come? That's all BS. That's all an illusion that you actually are worthy, that you actually are good enough. You are worthy of financial abundance.